every single one of them. It's a cool building right there. That's the TCC, Tarrant County College. I had a friend that was a professor there. And that's a building I don't know. It's just a cool looking building. And we're gonna like turn and try to find something where we can park by PF Chang's. This is all like the Better Call Saul area. It's all the legal area. That's the courthouse, and well, this is the jail, and the courthouse is over there. But it's also a criminal building. Tarrant County. And Weatherford Street is where it's on. I've delivered Uber Eats there before in the middle of the night. Then we'll go up to the library up this way. There used to be a Subway, I think, like right here. That was a Subway. Linda applied to it too. Way back there. Burn it, burn it. I had that song. Burn, burn, burn it. Burn, burn, burn it, burn it, burn, 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 burn it. I got a Buc-ee's in there. Burn, burn, burn it, burn it, burn, 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 burn it, burn it, burn, burn. Who comes up with that? Burn, burn, burn it. Burn, burn, burn it, burn it, burn, 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 burn it. Burn, burn, burn it, burn it, burn, 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 burn it, burn, 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 burn. Oh man, I gotta find. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking this guy's serving his tickets for the day. You ever see that movie Zoo? I forgot, Zoo something. Zootropia, or no? It's about a rabbit that wants to be a traffic cop. So down that way, I'm gonna go run over to PF Chang's real quick and pick this up. It's a lot of buildings. They got a radio station right down there. All right, we're gonna go see if we can get this PF Chang's. Okay, I think the kids said, hey, it's Cole. Getting kind of famous. You got it?
Yes, sir. I got it right here.
Cool.
How you doing tonight?
Doing good. How you doing?
Doing well, man.
All right. Cool. 2. All right. So far, so good. Let's see if I can hit this button over here. Get back in the car. I don't know. Okay, it's never mind. It's not work. It's a lot of sound right there. Cool. All right, so we got your PF Chang's, and then we'll drop it off at your doorstep. Quite yet. Not quite yet. They don't have the price on it. So, I don't know. I'm focusing on the show, and if they don't give the ticket with the price on it, then we got to go back and get it. So we're gonna go back in. I figured I'll go ahead and film it now, so it's established that that's what happens every time. That way I can show God's love. Hey guys. Yeah. Oh, you. Yeah. I need a price on it. We can't do anything without a receipt. You only have the itemized one. Everybody does it. Don't worry about it. Every single person does it. So it's on the checkout. Yeah, it's this one right here. Yeah. We have to have the one with the price or we can't do anything with it.
Yeah, no, you're good.
No, everyone does it. You're not the only one.
Yeah.
I always go in the restaurant and then I come back into the restaurant to get the price. And then I leave again. I do it every time. I look at this and I think it has a price on it.
Right,
Yeah,
they never do.
every single time.
They're always
Thank you
separate.
so much. Second time. So I'm gonna start doing that now. That's what I need to remember to do. That way it won't happen. Or at least I'll see when I watch it, not have to do it twice. So now we're gonna do it again. It's like going to Hollywood and then back again. To Hollywood and then back again. Now we got the price. With the receipt. Then we can be like, no, I'm not gonna be all Lynchian like Mulholland Drive. Although it's a good movie though. Okay. Now we gotta take a photo of it. Put it in this little thing right over here with this little green thing. Take a photo of it, and then we're gonna head off to you. We'll be right at your door. Stay tuned. There's nothing more refreshing in this world than when you see these on cars right here. Blessed, you know? Amen to that. I have 3 children myself. I'm blessed. That's such a wonderful thing. Such a wonderful thing. There they go, a little family of themselves right there. Going to the Monarch Apartments, will be on the 2nd floor. So we'll meet the client on the 2nd. What in the world? It's called Wicked Butcher. It's pretty crazy looking. Well, a lot of married couples go to it. Look at this married guy. He's got a Nirvana shirt on. There. Pretty cool. That's how Nirvana fans look like now. That's what they look like now. That's what's crazy. He grew up on Nirvana. You know, I'll be 50 this summer. 50 years old. Be headed to Hollywood at 50 years old. And you know what? I'm getting to the point where I don't care. That's fine with me. 50 years old. Boy, that's going to be one heck of a ride. One heck of a ride. Fairmont, we're by Monarch. We got to find the 2nd floor of this building, and then we call. There's the 1st floor. Looks like maybe prior to the gate, but this isn't the 2nd floor. This says number 1, so I don't know. She said prior to the gate. I guess it's before the gate. Probably it was in that area. She just called it the 2nd floor. Oh well. People don't know how to describe things. Well, another one down the... Anyway, another one bites the dust. Okay, here we go. Let's open this one. There we go. Another one down, another one to go. Oncoming traffic. Grand Central Station. All of a sudden, a minute ago it was pretty clear. This is the Monarch, or I'm sorry, the Monarch. English majors are listening. I'm sorry, the Monarch. Anyway, it's called the Monarch. About about using Skinny Pete and friends because they gave up meth dealing and they gave up CBD, or they're trying to get out of CBD, and they're going to do a YouTube show about redemption. It's pretty interesting. And then Skinny Pete and Brett Badger are going to refer or use James McGill as a mentor because he got out of prison. So it's about them mentoring these two guys that were involved in drugs and getting them back on the right path, about the straight and narrow. Because James McGill was changed, he was reformed in prison. So he takes these two guys that possibly could have gone to prison, but escaped it narrowly, and he starts to mentor them. And Kim Wexler helps too. It's kind of a family show. It turns into a family show. That's why it's called Skinny Pete and Friends, because that's what the YouTube show is called. Skinny Pete has his own YouTube show. He calls it Skinny Pete and Friends. And James McGill is one of his friends. So that's kind of, that's kind of thing. Okay, hang on. I gotta go for a second. For a little snack. This is the Midtown location. I got a couple of muffins, some crackers, and a little bit of soda. So yeah. So James McGill gets released from prison and he's reformed. And he becomes a good person. So Skinny Pete decides to change his life. So does Badger. And it's not like real dogmatic religious, but they start becoming reformed and doing good things for society and stuff. They figure they'd give back. And their channel's kind of hip, and they talk about things, and they do like restaurant reviews. And maybe they walk people's dogs. Like they join different apps like WAG. And sometimes they expose things that are wrong about certain apps. But they make enough money off YouTube so they don't have to depend on the little pay that some of the apps give. So they educate people about it and warn people. Rather than just make a bunch of money, be selfish, and just keep it all quiet and get everything that you want in life and then die. They wanted to leave something else in life. They wanted to leave a legacy. So, Kim changes her life. She stops smoking. Whoops, looks like I gotta go. So does James McGill. They quit all their drugs. I was talking about the Kung Fu Master the other night. And when I get to Hollywood, you have to go into a Zen state to beat your competition, because you cannot let anyone bother you at all. You just coast there and keep coasting until your time has come, you are called, and you step before the camera and show your stuff, strut your stuff. But you have to do it in a Zen state. So we're going to start practicing that. Salsa Limon. Salsa Limon. Welcome. And they're open. First of all, do y'all have Mexican Coke? One of those. They wanted Jarritos. They got in touch with me, and they just want a Mexican Coke. Meaning just get a Mexican Coke. Like a Mexican Coke. And then, since you don't have torta, what else do you have?
Everything else that we have on the menu.
But what would be similar?
Well, I'm not really sure, but we do have...
What, you said it was like a sandwich?
Yes.
What do you mean? They wanted a torta. I just want to get them something similar.
Oh, we don't have a torta.
Yeah, she said they did.
Similar would be a burrito.
Then do that. Okay. Then also do salsa and queso. So you're gonna do salsa and queso and chips. So you're gonna do the burrito, the salsa, the queso, and the chips.
Salsa goes with chips and the queso.
There you go. Salsa comes with chips, and then add queso.
And the queso comes with chips.
Gotcha. Chips and salsa and queso. And then also, of course, the burrito.
What kind of meat do you want for the burrito?
What kind would come with a torta?
Whichever meat you choose. Whichever meat you choose to.
Oh, you can choose on the torta?
Well, same thing as...
How about meat? What is meat? Is it just meat?
Yeah.
Like just regular meat?
Yes, we have asada, pastor, chorizo, barbacoa.
Oh, you have a lot of meat.
Yes.
So explain the different meats.
Asada steak, pastor is pork with grilled onions.
Asada?
Yes.
Let's go with asada. Okay, you got the Mexican Coke, chips and salsa, side queso. You got the asada burrito, and yep, chips and salsa. Yep, how much is that?
$22.73.
Got you. How do you feel about violins and waiters? I need a receipt. Oh, yes. Like a violin and a waiter. Small violins and waiters. No, I'm with the delivery company. Hey, this right here is the Mexican Coke, right?
Yes.
Cool. Got the Mexican Coke. You don't have to freak out. This is the Mexican Coke. No, you're right. I don't have to. Everyone's called me a spaz in high school. My friend defended me, Westbrook Johnston. He said, Cole's not a spaz. He's pretty cool. He's a spaz. Then I had them all arrested. No, there was a guy that was arrested at our high school. He was in the shop class. He whittled out like a staff. You know, like one of those little big staffs. And this guy was picking on him, calling him, he said he looked like a catfish. That's all the guy said to him, you know. Like, you look like a catfish. And he kind of did it like every day. I think he picked on him. He might have got a little physical with him. So he went to the locker, pulled out his staff, and showed it to him. I think it was like that day or the next day, cops came to the school, put him in handcuffs, got the staff, which was from shop class. And then he was back in school the next day. They came into the school to get him because it was a weapon. It was a stick. You can't pull a stick out on people, even though it's like a walking stick. They want to make sure it didn't have a sharp edge. He's a psychologist now. This is Mexican Coke. Abnormally smile. I'm sorry. Try it again. This is Mexican Coke. Abnormally long smile. Now look at the green. Now you're making money. It's called my Mulholland Drive. You know how the guy had the blue still? He had the blue still. This is the abnormally long smile governed by Mulholland Drive. Oh, sorry about that.
Colby, let's go. Come on, Minnie.
Cute little doggies. Okay, we're gonna pick up the taco burrito. Sorry, it's a burrito. They didn't have the torta, so we're gonna pick up the burrito. Already got the Mexican Coke good, and then we're gonna go ahead and drop off the chips and salsa queso, and at your doorstep from Salsa Limon. Salsa Limon.
It's for like
Hello, burrito. It's gonna be a burrito. A little late, sir. It's gonna have a queso.
When you're talking about movies nowadays, I'm gonna bring up Billy Bob Thornton. You're gonna probably somewhere in the mix, Satanism is probably something that people will talk about, because Billy Bob, he was interviewed by James Lipton, and he talked to us about his history, and his mom's a unique lady, a special gifted lady, and he wrote The Gift, which I think is a decent, halfway decent, actually talented and gifted story with a great plot, great characters, an important story that should be seen. And I had just seen that movie in Los Angeles before I went to New York and met Billy Bob. I got to talk to Billy Bob. Now, I talked to Kevin Costner, I talked to Benicio, and I talked to Richard Gere. They all guard their career. They guard it. Billy Bob doesn't. Now, Billy Bob, there's certain things you can talk to him about and certain things you can't. And I know those things because I've seen interviews with Billy Bob. And I know what I can talk to Billy Bob about and what I can't. Billy Bob Thornton. And all I talked to him about it was, I mentioned The Gift because I had just seen it. And I just talked to him about script writing because I wanted to know, you know. And David Lynch talks about script writing and all this meditation and all this stuff. But I wanted to
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
We know about the vehicle. I wanted to talk to someone that could speak to me in colloquial terms, you know, modern day speech kind of thing, just to talk. And he gave me a situation rather than a explanation, if that makes any sense. Instead of like telling me all the facts of script writing and what type of pen to use and what kind of format to look up and what type of writer to read and all this stuff, he didn't do any of that. All he did was set a scene for me. Billy Bob did, yeah. He set a scene and he said, well, I wrote it, and here I was at the kitchen table, had my baby on my lap, all this commotion going on, and he was still writing it. And that helped me like the most. Because what he was saying was the story's always going. You're just always trying to capture it. I think that's what he was saying. He didn't say those words, but he just gave me a situation. That's how he answered the question. And that's kind of how Jesus did it too. Jesus answered the question with a scenario. Jesus would answer the question with a story. He didn't answer the question like people go like, Jesus, what is love? You know, and he had, well, love means this. No, Jesus would tell a story. Jesus Christ would. And that's how he'd answer the question. Now, why I mentioned Satanism is because we're going to talk about like Monster Ball, everything that went on. And I heard all that stuff, and, you know, they both admitted to it and everything. Now, the thing is everything is opposite in cinema, as in life, okay? It's not life. It's not real life. So it's going to reflect a different type of life. It's not going to reflect, even if you're doing a documentary. Okay, and I've heard things and I've seen interviews with Billy Bob, and to be honest, out of all of them, it was Billy Bob and Sir Ian McKellen. I didn't get to talk to Sir Ian McKellen, but Billy Bob was certainly nice. Sir Ian McKellen was quite caring. Sir Ian McKellen was interviewed too. He was a caring guy. He cared about things. Billy Bob was nice. When he talked to you, there was no tension. There was no, you know, in some of the interviews that I've seen, especially about his band and things, there was none of that. He just simply answered the question, you know, and kind of had a smile on his face when he did it. It was like a comfortable kind of like talking to a friend, you know. Now, I'm not saying Billy Bob's Jesus. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that it is a friendship kind of thing, you know, between actors and you stay friends. That's what Skinny Pete and Friends, what I'm trying to get to. It's like I'm trying to write about friendship and Skinny Pete and Friends. And I think in Gift, I think Billy Bob was trying to write about family. And I think there's a family aspect of Skinny Pete and Friends too. But there's an order in family. You know, there's the mother and the father and the figures that are in the family and the child and all that kind of stuff. But I think Billy Bob was trying to say is it just wrote itself and I had to go along with it. Even though my babies were crying and I was sitting at the table. Those kinds of answers help. You know, because you just go along with it. It takes you, you know. But, you know, I didn't expect that from Billy Bob, and I was impressed. And I was like, this guy, you know, this guy's a pretty nice guy. Although Richard Gere kind of squinted at me. It's just who you are at that moment. Yeah. I don't care. I'm kind of getting over that point where I'm not even really watching a lot of movies. But I do like to tell stories. And I think we're over here. I do like to tell stories in every form and fashion. I do like to do that. And I think that, and I always want to say one thing though about the vlog and about Linda and about a bunch of other things. I've always wanted something in life that couldn't be taken away from me. Now, I was a weird kind of kid because my mom said when I would go play with my toys, my sister would come up to me and she'd take away my toy and she'd go off in the room and hide it, or she would keep it from me. And I would immediately go to the toy chest. I'd find another toy and I'd start playing with it. My mom was proud of me about that. She went up to me and told me, my mom would tell me, she was a good director. She'd tell me, this is good, Cole. It's good that you went off and you played with that other toy. You didn't get attached to that toy and you had to have that toy. You have to let go of everything. If you're going to do it, you have to let go of everything and just let it take you and then go forward from there. You know, it's like, hold on loosely, don't let go, dun, 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 dun. Because you got to do something in life, you know, and telling stories is worth money. All right, I'm going to drop off this food. There we go. That's the right one.